Hey guys, it's Edwin here, and I hope you are having a wonderful day. Today I'll be talking about why do people make excuses for their partners or their loved ones' bad behavior? Because actually in life, we do find ourselves in these instances where you may make excuses for your partner, you will make excuses for your mother, your father, your siblings, or your children. You just love making excuses for them. And to them, they might not even be aware of their bad behaviors, or they might not even be willing to change those bad behaviors, but you'll still find yourself making excuses for them. They may not even ask for those excuses, but you'll just find yourself making excuses like, oh, my son is doing this because of this, oh, my partner is doing this because of their trauma, oh, my this is doing this. We just make excuses for other people. It's like we are more of a spokespeople to their own bad behavior. They are not asking for it, but we just make those things. So why do we really make those excuses? Especially in abusive relationships, you find yourself making excuses daily for your abusive partner. They are verbally abusing you, they are calling you names, but when a friend let's say approaches you and tells you that, hey, why is your partner doing this, you'll find yourself making excuses for them. And the more you make those excuses, the more you get stuck in that relationship. And that's what this video is all about. And of course, if you've not subscribed to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, and let's dive into it. So the first reason actually is emotional attachment. You see, any kind of relationship we have with someone, especially like a romantic relationship, we develop this attachment to the other person. We care for them. Yes, we may genuinely care for them. We don't want them to be seen as a bad person. We just care for how they are perceived by others. So when we care for that person and when we care for the relationship, of course, we will make excuses because we want to preserve this relationship we have, or this relationship we have with them. We want to keep this relationship. Also, because you've invested your time, you've invested your money in the relationship, you've invested almost everything in the relationship, you want to keep the relationship. And because the moment you stop making those excuses, the relationship will end. You choose to make those excuses as a form of self-preservation. So the first reason is emotional attachment and feeling of care towards them. The second reason is fear. This can be fear of conflict. Let's say every time you try to call out your partner for their bad behavior, they emotionally abuse you, or they verbally abuse you, they get defensive, or there's just a lot of conflict and tension in that household. You may just choose to make excuses for their bad behavior so as to avoid conflict, so as to maintain peace in that household. Also tied to this point of fear is fear of consequence. Maybe if you stop making those excuses for the relationship, it will mean that you leaving the relationship, or it will mean that you have to divorce or leave that marriage. So you are afraid of what will happen if you stand up and stop defending their bad behavior. So you just choose this path of least resistance, or you just defend their behavior as a form of self-preservation, as a form of keeping the relationship together, as a form of avoiding the fears which will come if you take action. The third reason is low self-esteem. You see, low self-esteem is about when that relationship, or when your partner or your mother or anyone defines you as a person, or when you rely on them to portray as a portrayal of who you are. Let's say you can't stand up for yourself. You can't stand up as an autonomous human being. You have to rely on them for decision making. You have to be with them to feel respected. So when you have this low self-esteem, you'll feel that the best thing to do is to stick to your partner. So, and the best way to stick to it is to make excuses for their own behavior, because you feel that you don't deserve better, you don't deserve a better relationship, you don't deserve better in life, you don't deserve a life free from mistreatment. So all you see in yourself is you are so deeply inadequate, to the point that where you are now is the place you deserve. So when you feel that where you are now is the place you deserve, of course you will want to keep that thing going on. So you love, of course, just make excuses. And also, when you have low self-esteem, you will feel that you're always at fault for what's happening to others. You not really see yourself as this autonomous human being. you'll see yourself as someone who's always ruining things, someone who's always causing that bad behavior in other people. Yeah, that's what happens. The fourth point is, of course, manipulation. Especially if you are dealing with an extremely manipulative person, they may have made you to question your perception of reality. They may have made you doubt yourself. They may have made you to doubt your own thoughts and intuition and judgments. So when someone manipulates you, let's say by gaslighting you or by projecting their bad behavior to you, you'll get to the point where you'll feel that you are the cause of that person's bad behavior. You are the cause of, let's say, your mother's bad behavior. Let's say they've called you like you're toxic, you're not even calling back. Like everything you do, every time, ever since you came into my life, all these things have been happening. So when you've been blamed so much, or when you've been manipulated so much, you get to this point of thinking that everything is on you. And when you get to this point of thinking that everything is on you, of course, you'll make excuses for their behavior by saying that they did that because of me. They called me names because I didn't wash the cups or I didn't do this. So it will be just be a matter of them engaging in bad behavior and you taking the full responsibility for their own bad behavior because you've been manipulated by them to think so. You've also been manipulated to think that you are the toxic one in the relationship. As I said in a past video, you can check it in some of my past videos. So when you live life that way, you'll feel that everything happening in the relationship is your own fault. The fifth reason is a comfort zone. Like, no one wants to get out of their comfort zone. And that relationship you have with your partner is more of your comfort zone. You've been used to the relationship, let's say, for 5 years, 4 years, 6 years. So when I see that my partner is engaging in bad behaviors, like, let's say, flirting with other partners or flirting with other people, or just even cheating on you, you will tend to make excuses because the moment you see the truth, the moment you stop living in denial, it will mean that you'll have to face the fact that maybe the relationship is not working anymore because it's your comfort zone and no one wants to get out of this comfort zone. Even to your mind, a comfortable space is more of a place you are familiar with. So what would I do to keep myself in this familiar environment? Of course, I'll make excuses because the moment I stop making those excuses, it will mean a painful change in your life. Maybe you'll need to divorce, you'll need to go and tell your parents that, hey, my partner is cheating on me, or you'll need to just do something which is emotionally challenging. And the thing is, your mind will not let you do these things which are emotionally challenging because it seeks to keep you in a comfort zone because it feels that this comfort zone is safe environment for you. It's a secure environment. So the best thing to do is to just make excuses so as to preserve the relationship. The other reason is codependent tendencies. Codependent tendencies are things like perfectionism, people pleasing. Let's say, for example, like you are a perfectionist and you portray these pictures to the outside world that your relationship is perfect. Let's say you post these awesome photos on Instagram or WhatsApp or wherever the place, and you've been telling your friends how your relationship is amazing, and then now your partner starts engaging in these bad behaviors. So because you want to be seen as this perfect person, you will not want others to see the ugly side of your relationship. You will just want to maintain it, just make excuses like, maybe they were stressed at work, that's why they called me that name, or that's why they're not paying these bills, because they've been having financial problems, because you don't want others to see you. You don't want others to see your flaws, because you maintain this nature of just being a perfect human being. The other aspect is people pleasing. You don't want to hurt others. You don't want to hurt your family. You don't want to hurt your partner, because the moment you uphold those boundaries, when someone is engaging in bad behavior, of course they'll feel bad. Or the moment you call them out for their bad behavior, they will feel bad. They'll feel upset because they'll feel that you are challenging them or you don't love them anymore. And as a people pleaser, you feel that it's your job to make other people happy. And when you live life in this instance of trying to make others happy, of course the best thing to do is to make excuses for them, because if you make excuses for them, it will mean that they will not get hurt, like their ego will not be bruised. So it'll just be you making excuses. Today is this excuse, tomorrow is the next one, because You want to maintain peace. You want not to upset other people. Also, another thing is you may not also want to upset your family. Let's say your family paid your dowry, or they just have this bond together between the two families. Of course, you'll say like, hey, let me just make an excuse, because if I speak the truth, it will tear everything apart. My kid will know that my husband or my wife is cheating on me. So let me just make an excuse so that other people will not know, because you want to make people happy. Yeah. The other reason is you feel ashamed. Like, you will make excuses for your partner, you will make excuses for your mother, because it's painful to face the truth. It's painful if other people find out what's been happening in the relationship. I want you to imagine this, like you're this couple, and your, let's say your husband or your wife is standing there by the church, the pulpit, just as an example, and then singing all those praises, talking about faithfulness, all those kind of things, and then you find out that they've been cheating on you. Will you have the courage to stand up and say, like, this person who's been talking all these things is cheating on me? Of course you won't, because you are afraid of that judgment, that backlash from other people. They'll start seeing you in a very different angle. They say like, even this couple were cheating on one another. Even this person was abusive. And the way like they were talking as if they are very saved. So you are ashamed of the consequences of facing the truth. You are ashamed of what other people will say. And shame is actually really a painful thing to face. So you'd rather make excuses for their bad behavior so that you cannot face the shame you will experience when other people find out of their deception. That's how it is. Yeah. And the last reason actually is societal conditioning. Like, we've all been conditioned, especially in relationships, to portray this picture of this normally saying like, protect your partner at all cost. That's number one. Or something like, don't show your relationship issues to the outside world. Like, just keep your bedroom affairs in the bedroom. You see, all these kinds of things we've been taught, we've learned, and we've picked from others. It will mean that you will make excuses for your partner because you are protecting them. You've been conditioned to protect them, like protect your family at all costs. So you'll find yourself making excuses for them instead of dealing with the issues at hand. You make excuses for them because you've been conditioned to protect them at all costs. Even if they are cheating on you or doing things to you, even if they are abusing you, protect them at all costs. Even if they are calling you names, no, you just have to man up. You just have to be the woman and submit. You see all those things. So when you've been conditioned with all those things, of course, the easiest path is to make excuses for their bad behavior as a form of protection and following along with our societal conditioning. So there are many reasons why we make excuses for others' bad behavior, and it's actually a very dangerous thing, because the moment we make excuses to their behavior is the moment they keep manipulating us more, they keep abusing us more, because they feel that you are encouraging the bad behavior. So when you make excuses, instead of like helping them change their behavior, we encourage them to continue engaging in that behavior because they see that you are accepting of their bad behavior. That's what happens. So don't make excuses for others' bad behavior. Let them take full responsibility of their bad behavior. And also for you, take full responsibility of your life. It doesn't really matter if your society tells you that do this, do that. No, at the end of the day, that emotional distress you are feeling deep inside, it's just you who's feeling it, not the society. We cannot feel anxiety as a society. You can only feel anxiety as you. We cannot feel anger as society. You can only feel the anger deep inside you. So always focus on you. Focus on taking full responsibility of your actions, your behaviors, and that's how you really live a life which is autonomous or which prioritizes your own emotional well-being. And that's how other people will learn from you. Other people will not learn by you making excuses. Other people will learn by you acknowledging the boundaries, upholding those boundaries, and knowing that you deserve better and you deserve to be treated with respect. It doesn't matter if you've been married for 40 years, 20. No, don't make excuses for other people's bad behavior. They have their own lives and you have your own life. Until next time, guys, have a wonderful day.